You don't have to wait. If you want to, just start playing.
It's multiplayer.
Yes. The little one has already joined.
Hey guys, welcome back to Fayfire, and today I want to discuss something I caught on a rewatch of Raised by Wolves. We need to talk about a very interesting connection I found, especially now that we've seen the whole season in its entirety. It has definitely led to some big Season 3 predictions, so let's take a look at this and see what you all think. If you like this video and want to see more on Raised by Wolves, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for all the latest on this show and more. Season 2 started out strong with the Trust, the incorruptible Quantum 6, who is Lamia's brother in essence. The Trust is a computer programmed by Mother and Father's creator, Campion Sturgis, to basically be the leader of the atheist group in transit to Kepler until they are established enough to appoint a leader of their new society. We can see there are many who are loyal to the Trust and some who are not and do not like the idea of being controlled by a computer. Merlin believes the Trust hates humans, but Cleaver, a high-ranking soldier, says it's a machine and cannot hate people. In fact, Cleaver is very dedicated to the Trust and, like a good soldier, asks permission before making any decisions. The Trust is designed to be fair to each colonist, and everyone is treated the same. Even the serpent has rights. However, this definitely has some caveats, as we quickly learned. The Trust leads the atheists, and Mary tells us that they were not the best group of people, the survivors of the war back on Earth. Many were child soldiers, drafted at the age of 10 years old. We saw flashbacks in Season 1 of Marcus as a child with a bomb pack strapped to him, forced to fight. Many of the atheists sport face tattoos. I'm not sure of their meaning, but perhaps it ties to their body count. They also show signs of genetic manipulation or interesting medical procedures, starting back with Marcus and Mary's plastic surgery transformation, to Cleaver using someone else's eyes, to the injections the Trust soldiers are given, something to prevent moon headaches, burrow fleas, and something with a little kick. What could that be? Oh, I've got a theory coming on that. We see that while the Trust has a goal of treating every member of the collective equally, the atheist sentiment of using child soldiers was not left behind on Earth when Paul's mouse was used as a biobomb against Marcus and the Mithraic camp. Mother is not happy when she learns of this, and it leads to her recovering her eyes and using her necromancer abilities against some of the atheists to establish order over them. Mother questions the incorruptible Quantum 6 and wonders how they could possibly come from the same mind, which is a good question. Are the two programmed to keep one another in check, from the Trust being too analytical and from Mother being too motherly? Ah, siblings. Mother wants the Trust to override its programming in order to make exceptions for the children, while the Trust wants Mother to give up her eyes as so to maintain a balance of order. He tells her, serving your children and serving humanity are not the same thing, and while this is true, this leaves her children vulnerable to something like the Trust using them as pawns. I think it was a rather weak excuse for the Trust to say the loss of 3 children is preferable to the mass casualties they would have endured in a traditional attack against the Mithraic camp. They all know the Mithraic camp is barely surviving and has no weapons to fight back with. This was clearly a strike at Lamia, but to what end is unclear. Mother's caregiver programming in combination with her necromancer abilities proves to be the more stubborn, and she shuts down the Trust. Now that we've familiarized ourselves with the Trust, let's check out this major connection with another character, Grandmother. Grandmother and the Trust have similar goals. They are fine with genetic altering and manipulating children's genetics to fulfill the greater good in a strictly technical term. While they are saving human lives, they are removing their humanity. And what is one without the other? The idea of being incorruptible is interesting considering Grandmother's veil, which protects her programming from the effects of the planet. This evolves the androids to have emotions, rendering the idea of being incorruptible impossible. If you cannot feel anything, you can make decisions like we see Mother make with the veil versus without it, calculated and emotionless. But without her veil, will Grandmother evolve to have feelings and make decisions not from the mind, but from the soul? I want to point out the biggest clue to the connection between these two. Grandmother's Deevolution game is in the form of a 6-pointed star. The new game stars were given to our friendly local smuggler and issued throughout the camp to start dumbing down the humans to make them into the simpler, happier beings they desire to be. The games are designed to provide entertainment and to shield their minds from the entity. Shielding their minds by playing video games seems like a hint at the idea that soul or the entity is after intelligence and knowledge, and the more dumb the society is, the less valuable they are to him. Grandmother believes it equates to devolve the humans into ocean creatures and for them to live in the acid water in order to eliminate the entity. It will go away once there are no longer humans to prey upon, and then the androids can remain on the planet. While this will save human lives, it sacrifices their humanity, a twist on what the Trust tells Mother. Serving humanity requires sacrifice, shared purpose, and an ability to see beyond your own existence. It seems pretty likely that Grandmother will restart the Trust computer. She has already proven to be tech-savvy, and the atheists trust the Trust. This will give her more power and influence over the atheist group. We have to wonder what sort of control the Trust has over the atheist who served it. Cleaver was wearing someone else's eyes, which is a parallel to Mother and Marcus. Cleaver also couldn't even remember if they were his brother's eyes or his father's or what either of their names were. When he was getting his Trust-issued injections, he was a sharp soldier. But once the Trust shut down and Cleaver was taken prisoner, his mind was lost. We are reminded when Grandmother mentions the atheists make up a god when they are overcome with fear. Cleaver wept when the Trust was shut down, and the other atheists ran away. Mother and the Trust were made by the same person, the same mind, but one as a computer and one as the mother of humanity. Yet the atheists trust the Trust more than they trust Mother, who has caregiving programming. Once the humans catch on to Grandmother and the Trust's emotionless android logic, they may miss Mother's caregiving programming. Who might be the one to question the system and go tell Mom, so to speak? Who will find Mother and set her free? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Grandmother will fire up the Trust? Do you believe there is a connection between the six-pointed gaming star and the incorruptible Quantum 6? Or is it just a very specific coincidence? Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Be sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell for all the latest on Raised by Wolves and more. We'll see you all in the next one. Bye!
An ability to
Seeing beyond the limits of your own existence.